Okay, with that, let's get started, guys. Let's get right into the content and the training, because I know that Ray's got a lot of stuff planned here for you guys tonight, and like I said, you guys are in for a treat. I'm not going to take too much time to introduce this gentleman, because he's one that really, he's gotten to the point now where he needs no introduction. He's been doing so many webinars, so many trainings over the last few months. He's probably one of the most in-demand trainers in especially specifically in the internet network marketing niche. Been able to achieve, and the fact is he's been able to combine traditional offline prospecting with the leverage and power of internet marketing. He really is not only a poster child for MLSP, but he's a poster child for what this industry can be moving into the future, leveraging the tools, but still building a solid foundation the way that network marketing organizations are meant to be built. So with that being said, our good friend, incredible leader, #1 producer in his company, #2 producer inside of MLSP, L4 leader, EMT member in MLSP, Mr. Ray Higdon.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You are on. It's your show. I'm going to make you presenter here, Ray.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Very, very nice introduction. All right, hold on. Where is that little button? Okay. All right. So can you see my screen? Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, cool. Well, before I get started, I just saw a few friends of mine on here. I just want to say a quick hello. Alan, Angela, April, all right, Bob, Brenda, Brian. There's a lot, I got a lot of my buddies on here. David, Dennis, Denny, very, very cool. So I'm really excited to be bringing some value and some tonight. And we're gonna get pretty serious because, you know, this is the most profit-producing activity you can possibly do. And I'm gonna really dig into this. So let's rock it. All right, cool. So I call this the Master Sponsoring Series. And, you know, just real quick, I'll go through a little bit of at least the last 2 years for me. The last 2 years for me, I was able to sponsor over 200 people into my primary. That's at a $500 or more buy-in. We actually have a $1,400 buy-in that I've been getting days. Over 200 people sponsored into My Lead System Pro. Won 7 now, just won my 7th last month. Fully paid for vacation. Did win a car not too long ago. #1 owner primary company, EMT member, L4 and MLSP. 1 year after being of no excuses, I was able to be a speaker, you know, which I think was pretty cool. Also, I'm honored to be a speaker at Live the Dream. Got on the cover of What's Working Now, Best Better Networker. Just recently paid cash for my 10-day honeymoon in Fiji. And the biggest thing is that I no longer have to stress for money. This is coming from a guy that, you know, folks, I want everyone on this line to understand that 2 years ago, I was in personal foreclosure, deep depression, didn't know what the hell I was going to be doing for money, for you know, my life, for my purpose. And I can tell you that, you know, between MLSP, this industry, and just everything, my life has completely changed. And I know that anyone on here, regardless of where you are circumstance-wise, you can change it too. And so, you know, MLSP, this was actually a few months ago, asked me to put together, because of my success, asked me to put together a four-part series on sponsoring to help anyone and any company with the most profit-producing activity, which is sponsoring. And so tonight, I'm actually going to be diving into the 4 areas that I cover in that actual series. Now, here's the painful reality. And I know, and a lot of people, you know, when I hear people say, man, it's like you were speaking to me, and it's because I used to be you. You know, I used to be in that painful, you know, non-productive environment, wondering if this was all going to work out. And, you know, so I know that most people, they spend their time frustrated, okay? Most people spend all their time trying to get leads. You know, when a good prospect does show up, they think about it, or they don't return their calls. I know a lot of people that are infinitely smarter than I am. SEO when it comes to PPC, Elemental P, but they don't make money. And so it isn't just about it isn't just about knowing this stuff. You have to be able to convert. You have to be able to sponsor, whether you know that stuff or not. As far as time, it's something you can never get back. You really could be in this industry for years before you make any money, if you make any money. You've probably, like I have, spent thousands of dollars on things that didn't bring a profit. And if you are not good at sponsoring, I really want to drive home why this is the critical skill that you need. You need it. You need critically to be able to close people into your business. Keep in mind, you cannot help anybody into your business. Think about that. You cannot help them unless you have gotten them to join your business. No way for you to help them. And so understand that you have to get 10 to 100 times more leads and spend 10 to 100 times more hours to get the same exact results as a decent closer. And it's embarrassing when your friends have seen you do multiple businesses without having success. It was for me. I remember, February 2006, I joined my first network marketing company. And in a span of like 3 years, I'd been in 11. I'd been in 11 different companies, hadn't had success. And I remember when I was, calling my warm market, I had people tell me, well, how long is this one going to last? They just said it right to my face. And I remember telling somebody, I said, hey, you're not supposed to say that to my face. You're supposed to say it behind my back. But that's the kind of environment you're in when you haven't had success at these things. It doesn't help. I talk to a lot of people and I coach a lot of people in this industry. It's not always super fun, significant other why this one also won't work. Does anyone know what I'm talking about there? Does that, maybe blink your hands, raise your hands there if any of that resonate with you, if you know what I'm talking about there. I see a whole bunch of hands. It's reality. I'm talking about reality there. And that's what goes on in this industry. People that have what it takes, but they just aren't able to get people to sign on the dotted line, to get people to jump off the fence. And that's what this webinar is structured around. And so I want you to think about this, and you should always focus on what it is that you actually want in life. What if you had total confidence? What if you felt good about what you were doing with your business? What if you felt good when you told people what you did for a living? What if you were asked to be on the cover of a magazine? How much exposure would that get for you? What if you were asked to be a speaker? Right? This is something that ever since I was asked to be a speaker for No Excuses, my income has gone through the roof. People have reached out to me. You want to get all of these things, I can tell you, it'll completely change your life just getting slightly better at sponsoring. It really will. And, I want to show you guys some tactics for you tonight. And I have a few pictures because sometimes I'm talking to people in this industry and they don't know why they're in this industry. I ask them, why are you in this industry? They tell me, oh man, it's tough, it's hard, it's this and that. And they don't really know why they're in this industry. And I can tell you there's a lot of reasons why you should be in this industry. And I uploaded, a whole bunch of pictures to kind of just share with you some different adventures, some different vacations that I've won, all because of this awesome industry. Been able to take my kids traveling more than ever before. I've been able to travel more than ever before. Just unbelievable when you have residual income rolling in each and every month like clockwork. it's amazing what you can do with that, and how different your life looks, how different life can be for you. Hey, remember that picture, Brian? I don't know if he's still on here. That was our trip down in Cancun. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so, I just showing people what's possible. There's a car that I won, and none of these things, not one of them, I couldn't have I couldn't have experienced any of those things if I didn't learn these tactics I'm going to teach you tonight on how to be a master sponsoring machine. And I can tell you, some of you, the difference between somebody who doesn't make hardly anything and someone who makes a ton of money, okay, the difference is actually very little. It's a very, very little difference. And I can tell you, sometimes it's scary how slight changes can make total changes in your life. And so what I'm going to cover tonight is I'm going to cover the 4 areas that will make you a master sponsoring machine. So turn off the TV, turn off Skype, the cell phone, get your pad and paper, and let's get this rocking. So area number 1, and we're diving right in. Okay, area number 1, learn to master questions. And I'm going to give you some examples here. Questions make your life so much easier, and they actually put you in control. This is something that have you ever, and I kind of ask you guys, have you ever been in a scenario where you say something to a prospect, they say something back, and you're not sure what to say? I mean, I've only had it happen a million times to me. That ever happened to you? There, blink your hands if that's ever happened to you, where you just didn't know where to go, and you kind of wish, man, I wish I could, call Ray, or I wish I could call David Wood, or man, I really wish. Well, learn to embrace and use questions. You can dig yourself out of there. If you're backed up into a corner, you can throw a question out and immediately put you back into control. And let me give you some examples. One of my favorite lines that I use that I think is non-abrasive, it's low resistance, it's something that is pretty simple to use, is, would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? Right? If you take yourself out of the mindset of a network marketer and that it's tough and that no one likes it, right? If you take yourself out of that and you're talking to an economy that is struggling crazily right now, if you're struggling to make money and someone just came up to you and said, would you be open to a side project that didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? You're probably going to respond in a positive manner. Now, what I'm teaching you here is to don't just settle for just one question. If I ask somebody, would you be open to a side project that didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? And they say, well, yeah, what is it? Or yes, I'll say, well, just curious, why? Why are you open? And then I listen. Now, is that easier than me giving some kind of sales presentation or something? I ask them why. Tell me why you're open. And I've heard things such as, well, I lost my job, or I got to put the kids in private school. I need to come up with some extra money. I hear all kinds of reasons why people are open right now. But you see, if I didn't ask that question why, I would not know where to go. And I was using this example earlier with one of my reps, and it's like, if you owned a Walmart and someone came into your store, you wouldn't just start selling them stuff. Okay, you wouldn't say, hey, would you like Milk Duds? That wouldn't make any sense. You don't know if they want Milk Duds. You ask them, right? What is it that you're looking for? And if they don't have anything they're looking for, you won't just start selling them stuff. And see, a lot of people, they go into prospecting like everyone's reason is the same, and I can tell you that it's not. You may be talking all about money, but the person may need a car, and they can't put 2 and 2 together that money would buy them a car. You have to find out what exactly is it that they want and need. What's their wants, needs, desires, and problems? Ask them. They will give you the ammunition to close them. And you would be shocked at how many people don't do this very, very simple follow-up question. You know, if you get a lead, this is awesome question. Okay, if you have a lead, and I know, you know, number one, you should call your leads. If someone puts in a phone number, if they opt into your blog, if they opt into, you know, whatever, and they give you a phone number, they are saying to you, pretty please, will you please give me a call? I'm just looking for someone that's going to help me. Please call me. Here's my phone number. Why else would they? Why else would they put a phone number? I am interested in what you have. Please call me. So I'm begging you guys, and see, I shouldn't even tell you this because I do call my leads, either me, one of my leaders, my fiance. Leads get called, and we sign up so many people that opted into other marketers' pages that didn't get called. And so I should be telling you, hey, don't worry about it, don't call them, so that I can get them. But hey, let me teach you what's really going on here. But when you call that lead, what a powerful question this is. What has recently changed in your life that has you open to a home-based business? Do you see how different that is than saying, hey, would you be open to a home-based business? Well, the natural inclination to that question is, nah. What has recently changed in your life that has you open to a home-based business? And so master these questions. You'll be amazed at the results. Now, area number 2, daily routine and objection handling. I'm going to cover a little bit of both of this. I can tell you, I used to be exactly like this. This used to sum up my life. You know, I had my fiance, she was going to Nordstrom, working at the makeup counter, to pay our bills while I'm trying to figure out this internet monster, right? I'm trying to figure out this technology nonsense. You know where I'm coming from there? Blink your hands if you know what I'm talking about. I think a few people, yeah, I'm seeing quite a few hands, right? I mean, it's just crazy. And so I would work, you know, 10 hours, you know, she would come home and be like, all right, great, how did it go? And I start thinking, and I'm like, I don't know how it went, because I actually didn't really progress. I didn't make any commissions. I didn't get any signups. I didn't progress. And so, you know, if you've ever felt like that, you want just a simple bulleted list that you knock out. And this routine, but if you follow it, and guess what, folks, it can be followed part-time or full-time. You know, I would say 95% of network marketers are part-time. You know, they have full-time jobs, and so this is something that you can use right away. Basic routine number 1: create a piece of content every single day. That's either blog, article, video. Now, is that going to give you an overnight success? No, it's not. It's not going to give you overnight success, okay? But you do that every day for a period of time, that's going to get you success. And I'm getting to the sponsoring part here. Average 30 minutes a day studying marketing, average 15 to 30 minutes a day on mindset. Most people skip this. Well, whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get out. Most people, they wonder why they get crappy results in their life, and it's because of what they're putting into that mind. You know, and I want you to, you know, I say this often, but I want you to stop, stop looking at what you know and start looking at your results. If your results are not what you actually want, then perhaps doing this routine, do affirmations. You know, that is, there's a couple different ways you can do affirmations. It's something I do every single day. By the way, everything I'm showing you here, I actually do. Okay, meditation. You have no idea, when you are able to calm your mind and you do that every single day, you'd be amazed at how it takes so much more for you to get upset. You know, it's you know, just being upset for a little bit of time, that takes you way off your game. Make connections with 20 people a day. Make connections. Now, that could be that could be online or offline, by the way. That could be Facebook. You know, I look at My fiance, she's personally sponsored over 50 people from Facebook she doesn't know. How does she do that? By making connections every single day. Now, when I tell people to make connections, the immediate thing is, well, when do I pitch them? Is it in the second message? Is it in the third message? When do I pitch them my business? Well, that depends. You need to make a connection, build a relationship, find out what they want, need, desire, or what their problems are. Find out, because you have to look at yourself not as super duper salesman, all right? Not as super salesman, but as the problem solver. As the problem solver. And all of a sudden, you're sponsoring, you're prospecting, it gets a whole lot easier. And so let me give you a sample objection. This is one of my favorites. Actual, 4-part series. I got a ton of them in there. But here, I want you to, some of you may have seen this. I recently wrote it on my blog, but how much money did you earn your first month? Well, I don't know, because I haven't finished collecting it all yet. Paid residual income in my business, and I'm still earning from my efforts from my very first month. Now, how powerful is that? Does anyone like that answer? Do you like that? Show me some hands if you like. I'm seeing lots and lots of hands. I've heard a lot of different answers to this. And this is something that, quite frankly, you're getting asked this because they sense a chink in your armor. They sense that you're not the super confident person. I rarely get this. It's really rare for me to get this, but I can recognize that new marketers just getting their feet wet probably get this question often. And this is so true. I think of my example. My example, I brought in, some of my warm market into my primary company that I'm a part of now, and they didn't do anything. For the first few months, they didn't do anything. But now, I have two people that I brought in that didn't do anything for 6 months that I make over $1,000 a week now from each of them. That's $48,000 a year times 2. That's off my first month effort. Think about that. And guess what? I'll still earn for the next 20 years. So this is a very valid answer. It's not just a good answer. It's a very valid answer. It actually is true. Now when people hear this, it gets their mind thinking. And they're like, well, wait a minute, I don't get paid at my job for stuff I did a long time ago. And that's what you want them to think. You want them to start thinking like that. Why aren't you getting paid for residual income? See, very, very powerful objection. Area number 3, connecting and building rapport. You want to determine their style of communication. And it's actually very, very simple. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's actually very simple. And this is just paying attention to how they talk. Look for some key indicators. There are people that, and I don't mean, Eagles, Ducks, red, green, those are, types of personalities, and that is good to know too. But I find this really easy to just listen, and you can actually see and kind of get a feel for how people communicate even through their email. And I can tell you, just responding in email in the same type of communication will get you a lot more results. Now, I never suggest people to communicate and try to sponsor people through email, okay? I tell people you can build this business online or offline. You just can't build it without the telephone. And so, but listen, when you have someone say, you know what, I like what I see, or it looks good, or let me take a look. If they're using more visual stuff, use more visual communication back to them. If you have someone say, I like what I'm hearing, it sounds good, that really resonates with me, they're more auditory. And then you may have people that are more kinesthetic. I just want someone that's going to hold my hand. I want someone to reach out and communicate with me. I want something that just feels right for me. Well, you're going to use more kinesthetic type communication. using the same type of communication that they use. And you'll get better results with that. And that's in person and email. Now, if you practice this, this is something that when you've practiced this for a while and you stop using your communication style. See, we all have a default way that we communicate, but if you start listening to the people that you're talking to, how they communicate through email and in person, you can actually get pretty good at this, where you don't even think about it, you automatically use their communication style. It takes some practice, but it's a very, very powerful exercise. Now, in area number 4, test closing and a little bit of objection handling I want to talk about. Now, this is real, this is the gold right here. This is hot stuff. In your opinion, do you feel this would help blank? Now, I suggested in the very beginning, when you're talking to people, ask them, why are you open? Why are you looking at a home-based business? What has recently changed? And ask them those questions. And if you find out what they are actually what they want, ask them. Oh, okay, so you're saying that you need additional income because your hours have been cut. Now, in your opinion, do you feel that this business might help you make an additional income? Well, what would that be worth to you? You see these questions? I mean, these questions are gold right here. What would that be worth to you? Let them tell you. You see, too often I've seen trainings where they teach you to, say all the benefits of network marketing and say this and that. You know what? Most people, they get it. Most people get what the benefits could be, but you need to have them say it, not you. Have them tell you what it means to them. And then ask them, are you just saying that, or do you really believe that? Now, so if you're saying, for example, I've had people tell me, they say, well, you know what, if I feel that if I did this, I could probably make an additional $1,000 a month. Well, are you just saying that, or do you really believe that? Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I believe that I could. You see, that person has already signed up. They've already signed up. It's a done deal. And see, too often we get to that close, we get to that number, and they say, well, wait a minute, hold on here. See, we haven't test closed them. Okay. Now here's a money question for you. If you were to join now, what would be the best benefit to you joining? Let them tell you. Let them do the heavy lifting for you. That allows you to operate more freely. You don't have to be the uber super salesperson. What would be the best benefit to you joining? Very powerful. Now, I want to cover a little bit of objection handling, and this is a universal way. It's a universal way that you can handle objections. And there's not a ton of objections that you're going to run into, but if you can just memorize this little screen right here, you're not going to get stuck. Okay, you're not going to get stuck, and that's what I want to prevent. I want to prevent all new marketers in network marketing to not get stuck. And so how you can do that is by asking questions and also understanding this formula for objection handling. Repeat the objection into a question. You can't answer objections, but you can questions. Okay, someone, whatever, fill in the blank of whatever objection they want to throw out there and ask them. I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. What's the reason? This is good stuff. This will keep them, this will show them that, number one, you're a trained professional. This will show them that you have posture. Most people, most new marketers, when they're hit with an objection, they defend. They defend. They tell them, oh, no, that's not right, or that. And that doesn't work. It does not work. Never defend and never convince. But you can certainly clarify. I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. What's the reason? Maybe they're saying, well, I think you're
your product's too expensive, or I think it's too much to join your business. I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. What's the reason? So suppose I was able to satisfy that concern. In your opinion, do you feel you would want to move forward? This may draw out another question or another objection. See where this is going? This little slide right here. You guys are getting gold. I love MLSP, by the way. I love these guys. They're so awesome. They're just so awesome. So let's finish up that last bullet there. Let me ask you a question. In spite of blank, isn't the real question that is it possible for you to get more benefits than what you are investing? Right? Someone's giving you the money objection. It's too much money, or I don't got the money. Well, in spite of the cost concern, isn't the real question that is it possible for you to get more benefits than what you are investing? Think about this. I joined a company for $500, and I've won 7 vacations, a $100,000 car, for this amount of money. Is it possible that someone could get more benefits than what they're investing by coming into this industry? Is it possible? You see how powerful that is? You're not saying, do you think it's guaranteed? You're saying, is it possible? Who's going to answer no to that? Is it possible? Very powerful phrase that you can use when you're talking to people. Okay, so let me just hear from. I mean, you guys getting anything good out of this? Let's hear this. That's an awesome question. We're all in this together. Dang yes, awesome. Cool. My man Remy in Cape Coral, Florida. Cool, awesome. All right, well let's. I got more to cover tonight, so let's keep going. All right, so before I move on, do you think, like right now, we are, I don't know, I've probably been training for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes! 20 minutes. Do you think you could apply some of what I talked about tonight to get more signups? Is anyone phoning? I'm seeing all kinds of yeses. That's so cool. I mean, it's just so awesome. Thank you. That's so cool. Yep. Yes, absolutely. So in 20 minutes, you believe that you can get more signups. You believe it's possible. You can get more signups by just applying what I've already covered. Very, very cool. And I want you to ask, and everyone has a different buy-in. I know, my friends in the top tier stuff, they make like $1,000 a sign up, and then I have other people make. Just curious, just get kind of gauge, what would an additional 2 signups per month mean to you income-wise? Anyone want to, throw, someone says the world, okay. That's cool. First income, very neat. Okay. Life-changing. And so, this is a good one. My husband wouldn't have to work as hard. How valuable is that? I mean, that's wow. Wow, that's awesome. A happy wife, first check, survival. There's some people pretty serious. Confidence. I talked about that in the beginning. If you're somebody that can just sign up 2 people a month, your confidence goes through the roof. And if your confidence is through the roof, do you think you'll get more signups? Of course you will. $3,000. Pay my utility bills. Hey, understand that. Cover medical bills. Happy wife. Momentum. Make me feel great. That's awesome. Very, very cool. What I've been doing is I've been pulling snippets from that 4-part series that I was telling you about. If you would like to get the course, and I'm going to keep going tonight, so we're not stopping, okay? But if you feel that more of this kind of stuff will help you, you can get it at mysponsoringsecrets.com. And so what I'd like to do is actually bring out, let's see, at this point, just based on the little bit that I've covered, what kind of questions do you have? I'd like to hear from you guys, because this is the birthday bash, and I'd like to hear what kind of questions do you have for me. And, if anybody wants to share, I actually talked to a few of you before this webinar, and people were excited to check out this product that I've been doing. And if anyone would like to share, certainly more than happy. If you do tell me that you want to share why you bought or whatever. So yeah, any kind of questions for me? What would you ask someone who can sponsor a lot of people? What would be the question that you would ask? I'm just looking for any kind of questions that you would care to ask me. And we're not done, by the way. We are not done. So yeah, okay, I see a few questions coming in. Keep them coming. I'm going to pick a few here. Okay. I always get, pyramid scheme. How do I change this? I would, let's just go back. Well, yeah, I guess we can go back. I would highly encourage you. Now, what 90% of the time, I'll tell you what that is actually saying. What that is saying is dance. When someone brings out the old 1938 pyramid scheme objection, they are asking you to dance. They are saying, I don't believe you have the confidence to talk to me about this business. Dance. That's what they're asking. And so there's a couple ways that you can handle it. Number one, you can laugh. Really? Are you serious? Are you just joking around, or are you serious? Right? You can say that. You can do the Dave Wood approach. The Dave Wood approach, he has so many, but you could say, yeah, it actually is, and you're getting in at the very top. Or no, this is actually a trapezoid, and we have the opportunity to get in early, right? Or if you want to use my universal objection handler, you could repeat the question to them. Say, now, okay, so if I understand you correctly, you're asking if this is a pyramid scheme? Is that what I'm hearing? Now, I know you have a reason for saying this. May I ask what it is? You see, that shows you're a pro. They're going to be kind of like, whoa, wait a minute. They're going to kind of be thrown off guard there if you give them that response. Very, very powerful. Do I typically sign people up on the first exposure? It depends. There is no, now some people, they believe that you have to jump through this and this and this hoop because that's what I did. I jumped through those 3 hoops, so everyone's got to jump through those 3 hoops. Well, here's the reality. Not everyone has to jump through 3 hoops, okay? And so you listen to them by asking them questions. Like I covered already, what would be, if you did decide to join, what would be your biggest benefit? Let them talk about it. And if they're pumped up, say this magical phrase, sounds to me like you're ready to join, and then shut up. And if they're ready to join, they're ready to join. Get them on board. I've seen more people lose sales from people that were willing to sign up. They lost them. Okay, so be very cognizant. If someone's ready to go, get them going. Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's move forward because I still got a lot of stuff to cover here. So I want to bring out a little bit more from module 1. Don't sell yet. Dig for their need. Okay, if someone responds positively to you, dig for their need. You want to find out. And if you're asking somebody, hey, why are you open to a home-based business? And they say, I need to make money. That's not the right answer. Money, it's pieces of paper. It doesn't do anything. What do they want to do with that money? Because you want them to associate the good feelings of getting the things that they want to get. You want them to associate the end result of that money. Money is not, you haven't dug enough. If someone says, I'm looking at it because I need to make money. Why? Why do you need to make money? Ask them those questions. As I love asking people this. You ever felt like you were meant to help other people? Anyone on the line, raise your hands. You know, and I think this industry, it attracts people that want to help other people. Raise your hands if you feel you are meant to help a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of hand raising, tons and tons. You know, because think about it, and I tell people this. I say, listen, if you're a selfish jerkola, this isn't the industry for you. Not a fit. If you don't care about people, if you don't truly want to help people, this is probably not a fit. And so when you ask people this, ever felt like you're meant to help other people, ask them, how do you suppose you're going to do that? Gives you that avenue. You know, I'm so grateful to have people that thank me and, you know, on Facebook, they send me emails and this and that. Well, if I was just working some corporate job, I wouldn't be able to help as many people as I have. It wouldn't be possible. So we have something. Now, I want to reiterate something I said earlier, is you cannot help people if you are really committed to the idea that you were meant to help a lot of people. If you're committed to that idea that you're meant to help a lot of people, you better get better at sponsoring, because you cannot help them. You know, getting someone to watch a presentation and then, you know, talking to them and they don't join and then they don't call you back, you have not helped them. And you also haven't helped yourself. You know, this isn't just about making commissions, it's about impacting other people's lives. You know, I look at, you know, my example. If the person, you know, my friend Chris Brawley out of Cape Coral, Florida, he gave me a call one day. He said, hey, I got something that I think you should take a look at. And I went over there, I checked out a presentation, and he signed me up. What if? What if he would have said to me, well, just go think about it, or hey, I'll follow up with you tomorrow, and he never did. What if? He never could have helped me. He never could have helped me get out of foreclosure. He never could have helped me win those vacations. And so understand, if you're committed to the idea of helping other people, then you need to be committed to getting better at sponsoring. That may be tough. It may be tough to hear, but it's absolutely the truth. Repeat back their needs. You know, when you get someone really being real with you and really telling you what they need, repeat those back. So from what I'm hearing, okay, in fact, you can even use that communication style. You know, from what you're, you know, what I'm hearing, or from my view, okay, if they're a visual person, from my view, I'm seeing that you're really committed to helping put your kids through private school. That you're really committed to helping your husband work less. You know, let me just go through some of your own comments here. Let's see. Oh, so you're really committed about covering those medical bills. Now let me ask you, you know, those medical bills for your wife, is that something that, you know, you can kind of slack off on, or kind of, you know, do it whenever, or do you actually have to do that? You see, you're repeating back their needs. This is before I'm hitting them with, you know, with starting to sell. I'm finding out what they need. I'm finding out their wants, needs, and desires. Is that kind of opening up a light bulb for you? Blink your hands if this is opening up some light bulbs. You know, too often it's go for the jugular, try to get a sign up, and you have no idea why they would even be looking at this business. So let me teach you, and this is right out of Module 1. This slide is pulled from Module 1. Just giving it to you here. But this is the irresistible challenge. It's irresistible, okay? And this is what I use this all the time. All the time I use this, okay? All the time. You know, we have a contest going on in our company for a 6-day Royal Caribbean cruise. And there's, you know, out of a company has 24,000 people in the entire company, and four people have won the grand suite. Now there's different levels that you can win. 4 people, I'm one of them, okay? Now, so when I use this all the time to sponsor people, all the time. So here it goes. After you repeat back their needs, ask them, were you serious about that? Let me give you some examples. I'm going to use your own stuff here. All right, let's see. Let me pick a good one. Okay, let's see. Okay, when I talked to you, you mentioned that you'd love to do this business because then your husband wouldn't have to work so hard. Were you serious about that? Were you serious about helping your husband not work so hard? You see, they have to say yes. They said it, they have to say yes. And I'm using an example, but that example could be anything. You're saying that you have to come up with enough money to put your mother in a nursing home. Is that an optional thing, or were you pretty serious about that? You see, they have to say yes. Now, if you're serious, they just said they were, and I could show you a way to maybe help cover those bills. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Do you see where I'm going here? Do you see that this is not that complex? It's not, and these aren't like tips. Hey, here's a little tip. You know, if you see someone do this little tip, this is a formula. This is a formula that if you apply, you do get more signups. Repeat back their needs. So let me ask you, were you serious about helping your husband not have to work so much? They'll say yes, because they have to, because they said it, okay? Well, if you're serious about helping your husband not work so much, and I could show you a way that, you know, that would help that, would you be open to it? Who's going to say no? No, no thanks. Who's going to say no? No one. That's what makes it the irresistible challenge. And also, keep in mind, would you be open, not interested? Would you be open? Would you be open? See, people say not interested, not interested, not interested. People say not interested all the time. Do you know anyone that says, I am not open to that? Not open. It just sounds weird. No one wants to be non-open, especially after I told you that that's what they wanted. They're serious about it already. And so at that point, this is where you get into your utilization of resources. Okay, this does not mean, now, if you at this point, if you follow this formula, you have a foaming at the mouth person. This person is saying, yeah, I'm open. Yeah, I'm open. I'm serious about it. They almost want to prove it to you. You've almost challenged them. That's the irresistible challenge. Right? They're foaming at the mouth. They're ready. Tell me more. You have them. You have them curious. You have them interested. And that's where you're going to rely on your system, your resources. Okay, and every company is a little bit different. Some companies, you have an online video. Some companies have a CD. Some companies have a DVD. Maybe you have a physical event in your area. Physical event. Okay, but what I want to prevent you from doing is talking too much. That's what I prevent you from doing. Number one mistake made by network marketers: they talk too much. They talk more people out of joining than they do in. I don't want you to talk too much. Now, if you follow this formula, it's going to be very tempting because you're going to have a foaming at the mouth prospect. They're going to be saying all the right things to you. It's going to be very tempting to say, yes, it's a coded bonus on binary, and it's this, and it's awesome, and you could win this, and it's ground floor, and it's da-da-da-da-da. And now you've lost them because you went into sales mode. Okay? Tell them, okay, I got to run on a conference call. You know, create, and I should patent this term, but create a break in communication. A break in communication. Well, you know what? Sounds like you are serious. That's awesome. So cool. I got to run. I got to jump on this conference call. Got my buddy Ray. He's awesome. Very cool. And I got to jump on this call. But tell you what, let me get your information, and I'm going to send you over a little video. I'm going to send you over a little MP3. I'm going to send you over an invite to a meeting at my house. Whatever you use in your world, whatever company. And you see, here I am. You know, as the #1 income earner in my primary company, I'm giving you, and I know there's a whole bunch of you not in my company. I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. I'm giving you how you can get more sponsors. Is that cool? You guys like that? Do you like it that MLSP has brought together people from different companies that share their knowledge? Isn't that neat? Very cool. All right, cool. All right, so a little bit from module 2. Set pain in the past. Okay, so follow me on this. So when you're talking to someone, you're gonna hear from people that have had bad experiences. Believe it or not, you're gonna have people say, "Oh, I tried that. Marketing didn't work. Tried it, didn't work." All right. And so there's a couple ways that you can handle that. Okay. Now, if you have paid attention to the communication style, which here's what's neat. It's kind of like when you buy a new car, right? When you buy a new car, you think it's awesome. You have never seen anything like it, and you pull it off the lot, and you see 3 exactly like it in the same color, in the same everything. Do you know what I'm talking about there? Have you ever noticed that? You get a new car. Anyone else? Yeah, all the time, right? You get new car. You think it's awesome. You pull off, and you're like, man. And then you're like, oh my God, two houses down from us has the same exact car. You see, because your reticular activator has been initiated. And so since this webinar, you are now going to be aware of how people communicate. You're going to be aware. You're going to hear little key words, and you're going to remember, oh, wow, they're a visual kind of talker. They talk visually. I never realized that. You see, before, most people, they're on autopilot. The people that are not, the people that didn't buy the birthday bash or aren't attending Live the Dream event, they're not here. This is just me and you. It's just us. And so, that's what's powerful is, you're hearing this, you're going to be aware. All of a sudden, your results go up. Your sponsoring increases. Very powerful. Okay. So what I'm hearing from you, or looks to me like, or feels like, in the past you experienced. In the past you experienced. Well, I tried this thing and it didn't work. Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is that in the past you experienced that it didn't work for you. See how powerful that is? Powerful. Set that pain in the past. Now, what if? And follow me here, because I think I need to talk about that. I think I need to cover this a little bit more. Hold on, let's go back. Okay, so let me give you some examples. Tried this, didn't work, didn't make any money. Okay, it looks to me like in the past you experienced that you didn't make a lot of money with this kind of program. Am I hearing you right? You see how I took that objection and made it a question. Now, I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. Why is that? What is that reason? See, I'm using that handler. I've already taught you it. In the past, you experienced. So I'm taking that, I'm placing it into the past. It's way back there. It happened so long ago. They may not remember why it happened. It has nothing to do with today. Now, maybe they just looked at your presentation. Maybe they just checked it out. Okay? I use this all the time too. Maybe they just looked at your presentation. Well, I just watched the presentation and that's just too expensive. It's too much money. You can even set that in the past. Okay, so what you're saying is when you originally looked at this, do you see that? Do you see? I mean, this is not me having you memorize a 102-page script. This is not, making you super duper salesman. This is just giving you a very simple kind of formula that you can use with anybody. If someone says to you, when I look, okay, so when you originally looked at this, you thought this. Am I hearing you right? Now, I'm sure you have a reason for saying that. What would that reason be? Get them to talk. Let them talk. These questions, they work for absolutely everything. This is one of my favorite. My friend Mike taught me this. Magic wand. magic wand. Let's pretend, okay, I know you looked at the presentation and, what if you had a magic wand? What if you had a magic wand and you joined this business? What would be the perfect environment for you? What would be the perfect sponsor for you? What would be the perfect opportunity for you? And you know what? Some people that have reservations, when all of a sudden you hand them a pristine magic wand, they'll go hog wild. They'll tell you all about what they want. And you learn their wants, needs, and desires. Is that powerful? Does that help? Is that kind of neat? Is that neat stuff? Come on. Anybody? Show me hands. Let's see some hands. That's good stuff, right? Because you want people to open up. This is not about, just closing people and not caring what they actually want or need. I'll tell you, if you find out someone's wants, needs, desires, and problems, if you find that out, you will retain them longer. You will keep them in your business longer. Very powerful to understand that. All right, so a little bit more from Module 3. I gave some examples of how to get some more leads to talk to, more people to talk to. For example, some people, they don't want to do home meetings, they don't want to do hotel meetings for their opportunity, maybe. I mean, trust me, that stuff works. But some people have issues with that. Well, guess what? You can put together stuff to lead with value. And you can call this online, offline attraction marketing. 7 ways to get more clients to your door. How many small business owners would attend that workshop? Hey, I'm doing a small business workshop called 7 Ways to Get More Clients to Your Door using the internet, right? How to get clients from Twitter, Facebook. How many small business owners would attend that? How to set up a Facebook page for your small business. How to build a home business that is profitable. You see, all of those topics, you would get people to attend. You would get people to attend. They would be excited. You would have fresh prospects by doing that sort of thing. And these are things you can have as Facebook events, et cetera, et cetera. Mastermind meetings. People go nuts over mastermind meetings. I've had a lot of different mastermind meetings. I've had people pay for mastermind meetings. When I was starting out, I did free mastermind meetings. Things, just outside of the box kind of things to lead with value to get more people in your realm, in your circle. Okay. You also do coaching. Guess what? You being on this webinar right now, you now know more about prospecting and sponsoring than most people out there. Could you teach them? You could. You see, you just have to know more than the person you're coaching, to help them. And that can be set up in a lot of different ways, but it could be an additional income stream for you. Now, I want to talk about this one because I know a lot of people get this. No money. How many people, blink your hands, if in the last week, okay, in the last week, if you've had someone tell you they didn't have money? I wish you guys could see the hands. It's like almost every single person. It's like everyone, right? All right, so know that it's rarely the case. It really is. They're lying to you 99% of the time. 99% of the time, they're completely lying to you. Okay? Very rare that you're actually going to run into a homeless person that simply has no access to any sort of cash or money. All right? Very rare. But here's why you will get this more than some people. All right? If they are looking at what you are doing as attempting to sell them something, you're going to get this often. Okay? Because what's happening is if you're trying to sell someone something, they're going to take whatever the cost is to sign up with your company, and they're going to look around their house, and they're going to look for a piggy bank that has that magical amount of money in it and think, can I just throw that away? See, that's what they're looking at if you're trying to sell them. That's why you have to hear their wants, needs, desires, and problems. You got to have them associate with, oh, you mean this business could actually help me put grandma into a nursing home? Wow. Oh, you mean this business could actually help me spend more time with my kids? one interesting side note, since I've been able to have some success in network marketing in this industry, I've been able to spend more time with my kids than ever before. Now, my youngest son, Ethan, all for years, they said he had a learning problem. They said, they wanted to put him in special classes and things like that. And, this year I went to, last year, they just started the new year this year. But last year, I go to his school. It was an end of the year awards ceremony, and they have this thing called I can't remember the name. It is accelerated AR. Okay, they have AR points, and that stands for accelerated reading. This is an optional program. You read additional books, and you answer test questions. You get points. Well, he had the most points in like the entire school by a huge margin. Now, obviously, he's worked hard, but I can tell you right now, I do not believe he'd be doing as well as he is right now if I wasn't able to spend the time with him that I've been able to. And so know that it's not just about you. It's not just about your time. You get better at sponsoring. You get better in this industry and start making more money, start having a better lifestyle. Your kids are going to see that you reach for the stars. They're going to benefit from your ability to do that. So I got a little off topic there, but I thought it was important. So the reason that most people will say, I don't have the money, is they see more hurt in buying than pleasure. Like I said, they don't have that magical piggy bank that has 500 or 3,000 or however much in it that they can just throw away. So that would hurt more than possible gain. All right. So listen to this. I appreciate, so if someone says, I don't have the money, I appreciate that. And, not but, okay? Not but. I appreciate that, and in spite of not having money, isn't the real question how you can start enjoying the training and benefits now without suffering any longer? Whew. Oh. I'm so excited. I hope that you guys use these. I hope that you guys use these things and you send me little things. Hey, Ray, I used the start enjoying the training and benefits now without suffering any longer one, and it worked. I want to hear this. I want to hear these stories. Is anyone going to use this one? You like this one? I hear powerful. People saying yes. Very cool. Very cool. That's very powerful. It really is. And you can tie it to whatever it is that they've been telling you. Whatever their needs, whatever their problem is. Isn't it about time? Isn't the real question how you can start enjoying the training and benefits now without suffering from lack of money? Without suffering from, if you go to an amusement park, you have to split your meal because you don't have the money to buy everybody a regular meal? Isn't that the real question? Isn't that the question? And it is. Let me give you another one here. So this is part 2. Oh, this is so good. This stuff, it really is simple because it works on basic human dynamics, okay? It works on basic stuff. But I've just never seen that. I've never seen these things work. And I'm going to share with you what all I've purchased, to learn this kind of stuff. But ask them this: if you had worked out the money, this factor that helped you come up with the money, they'll tell you. They will tell you. They will tell you the most important ingredient that you need. They'll tell you the most important. Now, some people, they answer the no money objection very abrasively. Okay? I don't have the money. Well, isn't that why you should look at it? Abrasive. Okay? That's kind of abrasive. It's kind of jerkish. All right? Not that it's not true. Okay? It is a true thing. If you don't have the money, how old are you? Really? You really don't have the money? Come on. What has gone wrong in your life? That is true, but it's also pretty abrasive. Okay, you can lose some friends that way. But if you ask that way, it's going to give you some details on how serious they are. Now, they may be blowing you off. Okay, they may be. And if that's the case, then you're going to learn that. Not that big of a deal. But it will give you some details on how serious they are and how you can proceed again. And again, money's rarely the problem. So did you guys get some value out tonight? I got a little bit more, maybe get some questions out of you guys. Cool. Good stuff. Great. Oh my goodness, Debbie. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Debbie Carter, how you doing? Awesome, awesome. So I just want, I think some people, they think that this stuff is natural. They think that someone who became a master recruiter, they just came out of the womb as a natural salesperson, right? Well, I'm gonna share with you some of my costs. Hired a coach, $2,000 a month. Okay, this is when I was doing real estate to help me with sales in that arena. Recently, hired another coach, $400 an hour. Good guys, they cost a lot of money, but they're worth it. They're absolutely worth it. I would spend that all day long for that same exact coach. Okay, I have bought. If you have on your shelf product that's recognized. Okay, I realize you could have one or something, but if you have a product that is recognized, I won't rattle them all off, but if you have it, I can guarantee I bought it for prospecting, closing, sponsoring, $3,000 just on those types of products. Audio CDs, little, cheap little manuals that cost an arm and a leg, multiple live events, travel expense of well over $10,000 the last 2 years of my life, because I didn't want to repeat in those other 11 companies. I didn't want to repeat it. So I dedicated the last 2 years of my life to become a master recruiter. And by the way, I know that MLSP, I've kind of teamed up that 4-part series. We saw more than happy to bring you out here. The tips I gave away tonight to absolutely create some income. We said 20 minutes in, yes, that they could use those tips to go out and sponsor more. 20 minutes. Well, we loaded that up with an additional 30 minutes of content here. You can get my entire formula. It's actually over 5 hours. It's 4 to 5 hours worth of this type of training for $147. And I know that's discount, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, anyone on here share that did buy? I got some emails. So I did see some people have purchased. If you care to share, I'm happy to bring you out. As Ashley, I always want, and this is a good training. You want to know why people buy. People bought your product, why people joined your business, why people joined your company. You want to know these things. And so, when you have the opportunity to ask, care to share why you bought, ask it. And so if anyone does, if you care to share, I'd certainly be happy to bring you out. Now, I'm going to give you some instructions for those that buy. Now, again, you got value, rock and roll with it, go sponsor the world. For those that are, more serious on becoming a better sponsor, you buy, this is what you actually, that's an inside look at the back office there. Train series, okay, it's got the 4 modules that I've gleaned, I've given you a scoop of ice cream tonight out of each module, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when you get back there, now I'm gonna give you some instructions, okay? This is going to be difficult, okay? Follow the order that I did them, all right? Yes, I cover objections. I cover, prospecting. Very specific. There is a rhyme and reason to my madness. For example, let me give you a weird example. Talk about prospecting until module 3. Think about that. Here's why.
Most of the people on this line prospect. I know that sounds rough. You're not ready to prospect, because if you don't know how to close, why would you try to prospect before you know how to close? One skill that you need to develop is closing. That's the number one skill. And so I cover it. Don't just whip through the videos. I would highly encourage you, plan on rewatching them once a week for at least a month. All good stuff, okay? That is all good stuff, but this is straight profit. This is straight income generation. The best way to get a return on. I bought all the courses. I cover all the things with sponsoring that I believe anybody needs, regardless of how high their ticket is, or whatever company you're in. I do believe that this is just the best. So you can get all 4 modules at My Sponsoring Secrets. Now, I had actually, some of you on my list, you know this. Some of you on here right now, you've actually seen this, because I wanted to test this thing out. I wanted to test out these modules so that I'm just not shooting in the air and hoping for something to happen. I actually had a test group of people that did pay. Okay, they paid to go through the webinar series, and so I have a couple testimonials I'll share with you. This is my man, John Pinella. Funny story. I mean, I actually he was in my area in Southwest Florida here. To report that I've been using your techniques for sponsoring since the webinar series, and my business has tripled. I started paying close attention to the mechanics of how I was communicating with people. By using these new skills, I found that I was able to shift the focus off of me and probe into the wants, needs, desires, and challenges of my prospect, which helps me build instant rapport. Plus, I'm just way more comfortable and relaxed, which makes it a fun business now. Folks, this is meant to be a fun business. If this is not, no one's going to die. Some of you may know this guy, Ron Gilai, great friend of mine. I went through Ray Higdon's course on sponsoring. It was an incredible eye-opener. Not only did I learn what to say to recruit, I learned how and when to say to which type of person. Once I made a decision to succeed by following what Ray taught me, I've consistently recruited a minimum of 1 person a week. 1 person a week. Let me tell you, I mean, LeBron to death, he wasn't doing 1 a week. 1 person a week since he went through this program. My confidence through the roof, my team is duplicating. Awesome stuff. My man, Jonathan Register, listen to this guy. I've got 1 word for Ray Higdon's sponsoring recruiting webinar series, results. I've personally sponsored 8 people in my company in the last 2 weeks as a result of the techniques. I've rocketed to the top 20 of my company out of 60,000 reps. And then he gives me a man hug. Thank you. You guys know this guy, Adam Chandler, the co-creator of Tribal Syndication, Domination, Proclamation, Emancipation. The prospecting tips and nuggets I picked up from Ray have been pure gold. Some of the prospecting lessons I've learned from him have helped me to close sales within hours of learning them. I remember being on the phone with him, and I gave him a tip, and he called me within like an hour and a half and said, "Hey, remember that guy that was on the fence? I got him." I'm like, good for you. Because there's a lot of people that leave people on the fence, and we teach you how to get those people off the fence. There's a couple little things you can do in Module 2 and Module 4 that'll help get them off the fence. Do whatever it takes to get as much training from Ray as possible, because it'll help you become a better prospect, closer, entrepreneur, period. Very cool. So I just want to say thank you. Know that you can do it wherever you are. Maybe you're not like me and you're not in foreclosure. 2 years ago I was in foreclosure. I was dead broke. I was deep depression. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. Maybe you're in a better spot, or maybe you're in a worse spot. I'm not saying I'm the worst off. I'm sure there are people that have tougher stories. In fact, I've heard tougher stories than mine. But know that wherever you are, you can do it. When you get better at prospecting and closing, I want you to understand this. If you get better at generating leads, at generating traffic, at ranking on the front page of Google, okay, those are great things. But if you suck at closing, they do not matter. You have to work 10 to 100 times harder if you're not good at closing people. That's why I'm so adamant about working on profit-producing skills first. And if you become a master closer, maybe you're already getting a ton of traffic. Well, if you become a master closer, guess how much more money you're going to make than you are currently? It's ridiculous. Sponsoring is the fastest way to get a return on your investment. I'm just honored to be here, spend time with you, and honored for anyone that does decide to buy. There is the link one more time. And, I'll bring out, let's see, awesome, cool.
All right, awesome.
Brian, I don't know if I'm bringing
Wow,
Brian.
you know what? I think the most powerful thing there that you said, you said a lot of stuff, but just one of the last things there that stuck in my mind was, you're going to have to work 100 times harder. If you don't, and that's with internet marketing, conversions. I mean, you think about it. You get the same amount of traffic. If you can increase your conversions by a small percentage, 10%, 20%, 25%, that can increase your bottom line exponentially. And it's the same thing with recruiting. And I think